Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different than the regular card making videos that I usually do. I have some dried flowers here. I have some petals that I've pressed and some flowers that I've dried, and I showed you the dried one here. Here is the one that hasn't been dried. This is one that I've clipped off of our rose bush, and I just want to show you how I dried these. Now when the petals fall off, I like to collect them, and I just put them inside of a heavy book. So I got my big Jane Austen collection here, and I have a little piece of paper towel that I've put inside, and I'm collecting all these pretty little petals, and I'm just pressing them in my book. So these petals here I've just been pressing for a few days. You do need to leave these for quite a while. I'd say several weeks would probably be okay. And then I just put it on my bookshelf, and I stack some more heavy books on top of it and just leave it. Now, if you want to dry the whole flower and not just the petals, go ahead and tie a bunch of the stems together, hang them upside down in a dark place and room temperature, not too hot or not too cold, and let them set there for a few weeks, probably 2 or 3 weeks. Mine I left there a little bit longer because I forgot about them, but I just recently remembered, and I thought, hey, let's try out some fun projects with these dried flowers. So here are my Canvas Corp papers. This is the Compose Your Life collection, and these are beautiful papers, watercolor papers from watercolor artist Aga, and I believe she's in Poland. I could be mistaken, but she does her art, and then Canvas Corp paints them onto paper. So these are hand-painted and drawn papers, which I think are fantastic, and I thought they would go really well with these flower petals. So I'm taking a little laminating pouch. These are just the Scotch laminating pouches, and I've got some 8x11 sheets, but I'm using the photo size today, the 4x6, I believe. And I want to make some bookmarks with these petals. So I've got a few strips of paper here that these are actually just scraps from leftover projects. And I thought this was a great idea and a great use to use up some of those scraps of your pretty paper that you don't want to throw out, but you want to use something, do something with them. So I fit 2 of them side by side into this little pouch, and when you are positioning them into your laminating pouch, make sure that you leave space around them so that the laminating sheets can adhere together and you get a good seal on your bookmark. So that's really important. Just make space between your bookmarks. Make sure you can cut them apart and still have them adhered together. And then I'm just taking some of my pressed flower petals and arranging them on top of my cardstock. So this is a really simple, quick little project that you can do, and maybe even your kids want to join in with you. I was going to see if I could put that little leaf in there, but I wasn't sure. I was just going to stick with the flower petals for now. But I'm going to try it again in a few minutes, so you'll see what happens when you use some of those dried leaves as well. So I'm just trying to figure out what I like with these petals, how many I want to put on my bookmark, and I just kind of ended up filling them up. So whenever you get your petals on top of your bookmark, just close your little pouch and then send it through your laminator. So I'm just kind of figuring out if I like this look or if I wanted to change things up, and I did end up putting that last little petal in there because I really loved the petals. I think they are the focal point, and I thought, why not just fill up these bookmarks with these beautiful petals? So that's what I did. So speaking of laminators, the one that I have is a Royal Sovereign, and it's a smaller size. It doesn't take 12 by 12 sheets of paper. It will do an 8.5 by 11. But it was really inexpensive on Amazon, so I went with this one. I use it for a lot of my foiling on my cards. I also do a little bit of laminating for different projects, and that's what I did today. So you just take your bookmarks that you have in your laminating pouch, run it through, and it comes out the other side looking fabulous. And I actually think once it's gone through the laminator, I feel like it brings out the colors of those petals a little bit more. I don't know if it's just being squished down with the heat or what, but they look a lot more vibrant once they're pressed, I think. So after I have them cut apart, I took some of my natural jute cord from Canvas Corp brands, and I just cut a little length of this cord and tied it on the top for my bookmark tie. And I think these are really fantastic little bookmarks that you can do quickly and easily and give them away for, little Christmas gifts, little thank you gifts. Stick it in with a card when you mail a card. I mean, I want to read a book just so I can stick these in there now. I think they're really pretty, and I think that you can make them quickly and easily, and I think it's just fantastic. So, like I mentioned, I wanted to see what happened when I used not just the pressed petals, but also the pressed flowers themselves, the leaves and the petals from the flowers that I dried on the stem. And I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to put those through my laminator. So I'm arranging some of the leaves and some of the petals, and I also thought it would be fun to see what happens if you don't put any cardstock down before you fill up your laminating sleeve. So I didn't know if it would warp, I didn't know if these petals would fall out and make a fire in my laminator, but you know what, I was prepared to take that risk. So I'm just kind of pulling some leaves and some flowers off of my dried stem flowers, and I'm going to run those through my laminator and just see if it works. And I really did like how these turned out as well. You can see here it's a little tricky getting it into your laminator when you don't have paper to keep it steady and stable. It could crunch up in your laminator, so I don't know if I'd recommend it without anything behind it, but I loved the way it turned out. It just pressed those dried petals and leaves, and they just look vibrant, and I kind of like the clear bookmark. I think it's kind of really pretty, but I think both of them are a great option, and then just tie some more twine on the top of these bookmarks as well, and there you have some fabulous bookmarks. So if you have a rose bush or a flower bush or any kind of florals or plants that you want to dry, I'd say go for it, and then make your own bookmarks, because it's super easy and simple, and I have made a ton of these now in no time at all. Once you have your laminator heated up, you might as well make a dozen, right? So anyway, I just thought I would show this to you, share this really quick little video. Hopefully it inspires you to do something with those roses that you receive on special occasions and you just hate throwing out. Go ahead and dry them and use them on different projects. So thanks for joining me, and I hope I'll catch you next time. Otherwise, have a fabulous day, and I'll see you later. Bye.